You're back with Countdown on the Rock of Europe on Music Box on Super Channel. No, keep going. No problem. Moving down the line, we have Mick, Tim, and Chris of Simply Red.
Sorry.
Welcome to Countdown, guys.
Charlie Parker.
Great to have you back. How are we all doing?
I need a shave.
So do I.
We still like Johnny Parker.
Johnny Parker.
Charlie Parker.
Charlie Parker.
Bird. Man.
Bird.
What he had now with songs on with 20 minutes, lasted for 20 minutes, something like that?
Who's that?
Charlie Parker?
No, not usually. They're usually about 3 minutes long.
I thought my dad had an album with Charlie Parker with a 20-minute song on it.
Probably.
Could be. Hey, listen, you guys are on a European tour. Passing,
not yet.
Well,
we start
on your
March.
way, passing through Holland here. What do you expect? Going off great?
Yeah.
Ready for it?
Looking forward to it because it's been some time since we've played here
Are you American?
live.
Yes. Are you English?
Yeah.
Hands across the
I
border,
didn't realise.
pal.
I thought you were Dutch.
No, sorry. Excuse me. Let's talk about your album then. We can't do much about the tour.
Well, we're very pleased with it.
Yeah? The title is...
We're looking forward
Men
to
and
playing it live now.
Yeah.
I hear that Lamont Dozier, I believe, he helped out on this
He
album.
had something to do with a couple of the tunes.
Oh, could you tell me exactly what he did?
He wrote some of the music to... Well, we wrote 2 songs together. Infidelity and Don't Make Me Suffer. Infidelity, and which we're going to play for you later.
Really? And how much of an influence was... not maybe you'll play it for us later. We'll probably work on the other single first. On the Right Thing.
All right,
Yeah.
well... we're not going to play it for you later. I meant later in the sense of...
Later in the year.
Yeah, right, there you go. So, how much of an influence was Lamont in Simply Red's music?
He's more of an influence on our lives than anything else, because we were brought up with Motown, like on the TV, along with, with a 6-year-old kid in shorts watching the Beatles and Diana Ross and the Supremes, and he wrote most of the songs.
So
On Baby Love and Reach Out, I'll Be There.
all the
and
big ones.
all those biggies, 20 number ones in America. Quite a major figure, really.
How'd you hook up with him?
Through Stuart Levine, who produced Picture Book. Stuart had produced a thing by Lamont called Going Back to My Roots, which is quite a famous song. And we just met.
And that was it.
Yeah.
That's great. And Alex Sadkin is producing.
That's right, yeah.
Tim and Chris.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
That was really good. We found Alex to be a bit slow for our liking.
Can I just add for a second? Alex, of course, who produced, was it Foreigner, Duran Duran?
I
Grace
forgot about
Jones.
Foreigner. We never mentioned Foreigner,
No,
did we?
we don't.
No, well, we always conveniently forget that, don't we?
He's done a few things. He's produced James Brown as well, and the
Bob Marley.
Duran Durans of this world.
And you found him to be a bit slow?
Just a little bit for our liking. I mean, we took 3
He's an
months to
interesting
make the
guy.
record, which I think is fast compared to a lot of groups.
Yeah.
But there was times when we felt it could have been faster. But we're really happy with the album, having said that.
You know, a new trend these days in making records is to have everybody walk into the studio at the same time and sit down and play like the Beatles used to do. Have you thought of that technique?
What,
That's
without
very
having...
interesting. I thought the new trend was everybody was not to speak to each other and
Going
do
one by
it
one.
separately, yeah.
Be real nasty about the whole thing.
Well, that's all I've been told. I thought what we were doing was quite unusual. We're obviously out of date now and
Yeah.
out of vogue.
We actually did that. We were all in there together playing, and
Yeah.
it's a very. I think it's got kind of a live feel to it. This
Yeah.
one.
Do you go for this new technique or this old technique that's brought back again?
Well, we like to play together as a group, so as much as we can, we could try and avoid the overdub
It doesn't
thing.
really
but
matter what technique you use as long as you get it sounding good at the end. And I think it sounds good. I still like the songs on Picture Book, but I think this album sounds better. You play it and it's more... Everybody sounds a little bit more confident, a bit more like what we sound like when we play live.
Great. We'll be talking about that in a second. First, your chance to request a video on Countdown.
Slave to the rhythm.
Would that mean Miss Grace Jones?
Gracie.
Here's
Gracie.
Grace.
yeah, we
Okay.
do like her.
Well, we like that.
We'll talk about that in a second as well. Okay.
She's given me a kiss, actually.
Was it Miss Grace Jones? She gave you a kiss. Is that what I understood?
I just said that just as it was fading out, and she undid this huge veil. She
Strange
came in.
past.
Yeah, it was the greatest hat. She made a great entrance. We were at the MTV Awards in New York, and it was quite a small place they had us in, just all sat with these little cocktail tables. And Grace came in with Andy Warhol with this huge hat that was about twice as wide as we are now. And she was banging people in the backs of the heads with this hat, you know, and every time she turned round, she'd hit somebody in the face.
Excuse me?
And she loved doing that. She really likes to attract attention, because Tina Turner was like sat in a corner, like snarling at her, I think, you know, a bit.
So when she kissed you, she knocked down 10 people?
Oh, but Tina kissed me first.
Oh, wow. Oh, gee whiz.
I was just going for the kisses, you know. I said, please kiss me.
So now, if you have to choose between Tina Turner or Grace Jones to help you out with a duet?
I've got two cheeks.
Definitely. About the band playing live, now, maybe an obvious question.
I've got 4 cheeks.
Don't get nasty about it now. Do you like playing live gigs or making records? Which one do you like more?
I like both.
Yeah,
I think we all like both.
Does one lead to another?
Yeah.
Generally, yeah.
Yes.
You make a record, you do a tour.
Do you-
You
but-
make a record, you do a tour.
Then you make another record.
Yeah, because you guys have been on the road for what, a year and a half now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just
We're not
started
really a rock and
though.
roll thing, though. It's not. We don't. It's not kind of like that.
What is it like then?
Well, we don't all.
We don't do a lot of the cliched things, really. We
Trashing hotel rooms?
No,
and-
not really,
Yeah.
no.
There's not much point really, because you've got to go to bed in it. You know, what's the
Very
point?
quiet.
Trashing it when you've got to go to sleep there.
So what do you do to unwind?
Hey,
To unwind?
I thought you talked about wine.
No, it's
Why?
No, unwind.
Wine's quite good to unwind.
Yes.
As long as you don't have too much, because, you know, if you're working all the time, your resistance, you've got to keep your resistance up, because I'm prone to getting colds and stuff, so
Mm-hmm.
I have to try and go on a bit of a health kick this year.
How about you, Tim?
What do I do
When,
to
when you
unwind?
walk off stage?
Oh,
give me
God.
all-
Me
still
and Chris think that Tim is a hypochondriac, and so does the rest of the band.
Oh, come on.
I think that's very unfair of them, actually. But I'm partial to a good glass of wine,
Yeah.
and that's about it, really. I'm very healthy.
As long as he isn't paying for it, of
I
course.
don't.
Yeah, he's
that's
very
a-
tight.
It's another backstabbing remark.
Chris, how about you?
I like a glass of champagne when I've done a show.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll see if I can get that set up for you guys.
Yeah, well, there
Great.
should be one
Backstage.
on ice right now.
Okay.
that's what we've been
Promises,
told.
promises.
If I could invite
Your
you to go
producer
over.
heard that.
You got that? Champagne and 2 glasses of wine. Okay.
3.
3.
Don't you want one?
No, I drink milk
All right.
to be on the safe side.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, I wind up trashing my room. I mean, what can I say?
Not really. Well, perhaps we're in the wrong business, you know.
Listen, over to the stage, please, if you would. Join the rest of the band
Okay.
to do
Band?
The right thing.
Band, here they come.
Anybody over there?
Thank you very much.
Hello. I'm Phil Collins, and you're watching Europe's #1 rock show, Countdown.